Hey, this is Alt from Gear, and today we're going to be answering a very basic question, short and sweet video. Does the Arcteryx Beta AR layer well with hooded mid layers? So firstly, about the Beta AR, and I've talked a little bit about a similar jacket called the Theta AR, which I owned for a couple of years and then sold recently for a new black Beta AR. It is a detached hood Gore-Tex Pro jacket that is part of their Essentials line, meaning it's meant to be used in a variety of applications. First up in this is the control jacket, essentially, and I think this represents the ideal layering scenario in the minds of most people when they think of the Beta AR and the detached hood and stand-up collar design. It is the R2 TechFace jacket by Patagonia. It layers perfectly well. It has plenty of room in the collar, fully zipped up, no constriction, no bulkiness. So what you have here is a very versatile combination, and certainly a combination I'll use when I go up and ski this season, but it's not the only solution in place for the Beta AR, not at all. So first up in tests for our hooded jackets is the new 2021 Kyanite AR by Arcteryx. It is a fleece jacket, and once you master how to actually get the jacket zipped up, where you put the hood on first, you zip up your Beta AR, then you peel off the hood, what you'll find is the hood nests behind the neck just like any other jacket. It really is not magical or different in most respects, and you still get that wonderful ability to rotate your neck. But in this case, the Kyanite AR does not have any bulkiness or constriction. Really, it's almost the same as the R2 TechFace, only you now have the benefit of a hood for more thermal protection on really cold ski days. It's a great combination. I give it a thumbs up. No concerns at all. On a side note, the fit revisions made to the Kyanite AR are fantastic. I'll do a full review on this jacket very soon. Next up is the Leaf NAGA hoodie. This is a Polartec power stretch fleece jacket with hard face technology, so you get a little bit of extra element resistance. But how does it fit with the Beta AR? So really, nothing too surprising in that regard. Really, like the Kyanite AR, it's very similar in terms of how you manipulate the jacket, how it fits in many respects. It's a little bit of a bulkier fleece, but not by much. But same tactic: put the hood on, peel it off, zip up your Beta AR. The tactics to getting a good nesting fit really aren't that different. So I can, again, highly recommend this combination. It's one I'll certainly use here in the upcoming season. But anyone expecting anything unusual in terms of fleece jackets, don't be too surprised. The knee fleece, rather, are not that bulky. They will nest behind the Beta AR pretty easily. No bulk, no constriction, good mobility. No concerns here. Again, another thumbs up for this jacket, this fleece jacket. But now let's move on to puffies. First up in our puffy tests is the Proton FL jacket by Arcteryx. This one's a little bit of a cheat in a sense because the hood on this jacket's actually completely uninsulated. The Proton FL is a hybrid design. It's a little bit of a soft shell wind shirt fleece jacket rolled into one using the Octaloft insulation, 40 grams per square meter. But because that hood is uninsulated, it essentially has no bulk whatsoever. So you can almost put the hood on or leave the hood down and zip up your Beta AR with reckless abandon. It essentially just curls up underneath the collar, and it almost feels like nothing under there. It's a great combination. It's my favorite combination. The Proton FL is a phenomenal jacket. I highly recommend it, especially with the Beta AR. So for medium weight puffies, we're going to be testing the Practitioner AR. This is the prior iteration. I think it's from 2019. And you would expect a jacket made with Polartec Alpha, a more denser face fabric, to represent a little bit more of a challenge for the Beta AR around the collar. Actually, not true at all. So once you, again, get that jacket zipped up, zip up your Beta AR, peel off the hood, it is largely the same. So there really is no discomfort. Layers perfectly well. The hood nests perfectly behind the neck. No concern. So I don't know why people worry about this kind of stuff, but they really shouldn't be worried about layering the Beta AR. As you can see here, this relatively mid-weight puffy jacket layers just like any other jacket. It's not any better or worse than a Beta SV or an Alpha SV. The layers near perfectly. So before we get into how the Practitioner AR 2021 edition interfaces with the Beta AR, firstly, let me say this is a really awesome jacket. I will review it in the future. It's been redesigned. It has a new insulation. It has a denser face fabric. It has this OctaYarn insulation, which is similar to Polartec Alpha, the raw version that's exposed in some jackets, but I'll review this very soon. In terms of how version 2.0 interfaces with the Beta AR, largely similar to the Polartec Alpha version. So once you master the tactic of getting the hood on, jacket zipped up, and hood peeled off, the results are essentially the same. The hood nests very, very well. Slightly less bulk around the neck compared to the prior Polartec Alpha version, but the results are successful. Winning combination, thumbs up. I highly recommend it. So here's where things get a little bit more interesting in terms of mid layers. This is the Proton LT jacket. This is a 2020 model in the color Neptune, I believe. Core Compact is a little bit of a bulkier insulation than the Octayarn or Polartec Alpha featured in the Practitioner AR. And so when you combine this jacket with the Beta AR, you do feel a slight sense of constriction. It's not uncomfortable. Let's just say you have a more of a prominent seal around the neck. You do get excellent mobility still, but just know this is a bulkier insulation. It's a good combination. You do feel a little bit more locked in around the collar, but not uncomfortable. It's still a winning combination. And lastly, we have the big boy. This is the Atom AR. This is probably the heaviest synthetic insulation you can get from Arcteryx without going to a belay jacket. It's definitely a bigger jacket, as you can see around the collar. The collar sticks up more prominently above the Beta AR collar line. It's heavily insulated for sure. You're going to feel it around the collar. What you can do is you can unzip the Atom AR collar a little bit, then zip up the Beta AR. This does give you a little bit more latitude around the neck. It's not my favorite combination. This is something I would really only use in a really bad weather emergency where you need maximum warmth. It's just a bulky jacket, period. I would probably use this with a Beta SV or a Rush jacket, not with the Beta AR. So if you want to, you can. It's just not my ideal combination. In terms of thumbs up or thumbs down, it's right in the middle. Neither great, neither miserable, but not ideal. So for maximum versatility and thermal regulation, you're likely going to want a 3-layer solution when you're playing outdoors, and that's usually comprised of a fleece, a puffy, and a hard shell. So in this case, I am testing the Kyanite AR, the Practitioner AR, and the Beta AR together, where you actually have 3 hoods, 2 being nested among your mid layers, and 1 being on your Beta AR, which is detached. And in terms of effectiveness, works perfectly well. No concerns that I have in my experience with this type of jacket. Not with my Theta AR, not with the Beta AR. Once you get the hoods nested in behind you, they really just stay in place and they don't flop around. They're actually well maintained. Some people believe that the hoods are back there fighting for space and you feel just strangled within the collar. That's not my experience at all. I think people are worrying for all the wrong reasons about the collar design. I would say get this type of jacket if rotating your head and peripheral vision is a priority, but don't not get this jacket because you believe the layering is not going to be as functional. That's not true. This is a great jacket. I really recommend it, and I think it'll serve you well with layering as well.